Hello everybody. We're back with the sixth video in the second series of Painter 2023 Step by Step. Okay, so we've been looking at the fluid brushes, and specifically we've been playing, excuse me, I'm hiccuping or belching or something. Specifically we've been looking at what pick up underlying color does for us. So excuse me, let's go ahead and put some color in this second layer here. We're going to grab, I don't know what that's from. We're going to grab the layer, okay. Okay, hopefully we'll get this ready. All right, so I'm going to take this there and just put that there. We're going to go to Edit, Fill, and we'll fill with that pink color and say OK. We'll pick another color. I don't know if the hiccups are going to go away or not. Oops. Let's get rid of that. Okay, now we'll bring this across and we'll fill it with that color, and we'll grab a blue, pretty dark blue. We'll go over here and pick this again, and we'll put this down and fill again with that color and say OK. Get rid of that. Now we're going to lock that layer, and we'll add another layer. Okay, now let's go to the second set of fluid paint brushes, which is this one called Fluid Paint and Blend. And let's just go to Brushy, and we'll look at this first brushy one. We're seeing that the reset is 50 and the bleed is 100%, so it should pick up some, but remember that reset is pretty heavy. I would take it down to about 20 if you really want a lot of pickup. And let's get a color. Let's get this kind of green. Oh, look at that. I like the brushy effect. That's nice, and we're definitely picking up underlying color, and we're picking up white as well as these other colors that you see there. So that's neat, but let's take this to another level. Let's I want to show you something. I'm going to take away this layer 2, and I'm going to add a new thick paint layer. Ta-da! Now, notice the pickup underlying color is still showing. Well, in previous versions of Painter, you wouldn't see that pickup underlying paint showing because thick paint will not pick up underlying color. But any other paint that you put on that layer that would work on that layer, if it was a pickup underlying color type brush, it would pick it up. So even though we're using this on okay, so this says the brush may look different on selected layer. Paint on new default layer, brush stroke will look expected. Continue painting on this layer, brush stroke may look different than expected. Let's go ahead and stay on this brush stroke. And I tell you what, I'm going to say remember my preference because I don't want it to switch layers on me. All right, now I can paint on this layer with the thick paint. With the fluid paintbrush on a thick paint layer, which is in itself pretty cool. All right, and I'm picking up underlying color. Now, if I go to, say, thick paint, and we pick up a thick paint bristle, and we'll just do this trade-off. Now you can see that we're applying thick paint, and we're not picking up any underlying color. But if we go to, let's go to Thick Paint Compatibles, and let's try, let's see, let me look down this list. Let's try Dry Pastel. See, the reset is 30, the bleed is 10. I don't know if that's going to be enough or not. Yes, it is. All right, so in this case, I have a thick paint. Wait, let's do it in another color other than the green because it's getting confusing. So let's go with a orange. All right, so this Thick Paint Compatible actually is, you know, it affects the thick paint. See how it flattens it? And it's also picking up some of the underlying color, I believe. Let's turn that off. Yeah, you see how we're getting some of the underlying color here. We're not getting a lot, but in order to get more, all we would need to do is increase that bleed. And if you increase that bleed, you're going to get more of the underlying color showing. So now if we turn that off, see, you've got lots more of it showing. So what I'm trying to say here is that we've got something pretty interesting going on. We can use underlying color, we can mix these brushes with thick paint, and we can even take this brush. Well, this one, oh no, that is my, I want to go, sorry. Let me go back to the, fluid paint. All right, we're back to brushy. And I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to clear that layer. All right. Now we're still on the thick paint layer. I'm going to take this one, I'm going to reduce the reset to about 20, and I'm going to add paint depth. We'll leave it about like that. Okay, so now you can see that this brush has paint depth to it, and it's picking up underlying color. Isn't that cool? Now, if I hit that, I'm going to go back to the Dry Pastel, which, you know, is doing, I have to look at it to see what this texture is. It's probably that it has a much stronger texture for the paper. Let's come on down to thick paint, and we'll go to that thick paint. Not dry trail off. Let's do, oh yeah, we'll stay with dry trail off, and we'll do a lighter blue. And here we're not going to pick up underlying color. Cool, huh? Now, if I were to increase the bleed on this, let's increase it to about 95% or thereabouts, and we take a little bit of yellow. It should, yeah, there you go. See, it will blend with the blue color, but not the color underneath. Now, if we go back to Dry Pastel, and we put, let's put another green in there. You'll see it's mixing with the thick paint and picking up underlying color. We need to, the bleed's 81%. Let's take the reset down a little bit. Yeah. All right, so we're getting some real interesting mixtures of colors and work by using thick paint and thick paint compatibles, fluid brushes. We can change the fluid brushes to make them thick as well. So So we can do a lot of stuff with this. Let's get rid of that layer. All right, so let's just quickly try some of these other brushes. This is the flat bristle, and it does All right, let's try some of these other brushes. This is the flat bristle. My cats are trying to rub on the microphone. All right, let's just try some other bristles. This is the flat bristle, and that looks pretty good. It definitely picks up underlying color. Flat paint. Whoa. Picks up underlying color. See, if I turn off underlying color, this is what it's going to look like. So there's some advantages to having it without underlying color, but it's also great to have it. This one, it's kind of like the soft blender. Oh, that's nice. That blends pretty nicely too. No, hey, get down, get down. Sorry, they're rubbing on the microphone. Dash. Not sure I understand the name. Smooth bristle. Yep, that's got a bristle, and it's pretty smooth. And that's not the last one, bristly texture. Yep, okay. And we'll bring this on down. Thick bristle. Okay. Swoosh. Let's change the color. Swoosh. This one picks up underlying color as well. Fantasy clouds. Let's make them blue. Yeah, look at that. It kind of mixes and blends in. That's kind of pretty. And smooth sponge. Ooh, that one really brings in the color and gets some interesting stuff going. Okay, so what I want to do, we've talked about thick paint and pick up underlying color and other things that go along with it. Let's come back, and in the next video, let's see what we can do with watercolor. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.